Imagine this. You see a humble old woman walking slowly down a street, clutching her stick, her eyes tired yet full of dignity. Suddenly, a luxury car screeches to a stop, and out steps a rich, arrogant young man in a sharp suit. The crowd whispers, "That's him, the millionaire." But what happens next is not what anyone expects. Before I tell you the shocking twist, my friend, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, because stories like these will touch your heart and change the way you see life. This is the story of Daniel, a self-made millionaire who believed money was everything. He lived in a glass mansion on the hill, drove the newest cars, and commanded respect everywhere he went. But with all his wealth, he carried a secret bitterness. His father had abandoned his mother long ago, and she raised him with nothing but her hands and her prayers. When Daniel finally made his fortune, instead of honoring her, he distanced himself, ashamed of her simple clothes and her old ways. Then came Maria. She was a black maid, hired to clean Daniel's mansion. She was quiet, hard-working, and respectful, but she had an unshakable spirit that everyone felt. She came from hardship herself, raised by a grandmother who had taught her that true wealth was not counted in dollars, but in kindness and honor. To Daniel, she was just the help. But life had other plans. One morning, Daniel returned home furious after a failed business deal. His anger boiled over when he found his mother sitting quietly in the garden. She had walked all the way from her little house, just to see her son. Daniel shouted at her, his pride blinding him, "I told you not to come here looking like this. People will laugh at me." The old woman's eyes filled with tears, but she said nothing. Just then, Maria stepped forward. She couldn't stay silent. "Sir, you can buy the world with your money, but if you can't honor the woman who gave you life, then you are the poorest man I know." Her words cut through the air like a sword. Daniel turned on her in rage, ready to fire her on the spot. But before he could, his mother collapsed. In that moment, everything changed. Daniel froze, helpless. Maria rushed to the old woman's side, cradling her, shielding her from Daniel's anger as if protecting her own mother. She called for help, tears streaming down her face, whispering prayers as she held the fragile woman's hand. And Daniel, this powerful millionaire, suddenly felt like a little boy again, watching the only person who had ever truly loved him slipping away. At the hospital, Maria never left his mother's side. She cooked for her, sang to her softly, and wiped her tears. Daniel watched in silence, shame burning in his chest. He realized that while he was busy chasing wealth, this maid, a stranger, was giving his mother the love he should have been giving all along. The turning point came late one night when Maria told him her story. She spoke of her grandmother who worked as a cleaner her whole life but taught her the value of dignity, respect, and compassion. "Money," Maria said softly, "is like dust. It will blow away with the wind. But love stays forever." For the first time, Daniel broke down. He held his mother's frail hand and whispered apologies he had buried for years. "Forgive me, Mama. I forgot who I was. I forgot you." The old woman, weak but smiling, squeezed his hand. "You are my son. Come back home." From that day forward, Daniel's life changed. He hired Maria not as a maid, but as his personal assistant and family. He rebuilt his mother's small house, but more importantly, he rebuilt his bond with her. Together, they ate at the same table, laughed together, and prayed together. And every time people asked Daniel about his success, he no longer spoke of money or business, he spoke of his mother's sacrifices and Maria's courage. The most shocking part? Daniel began funding homes for poor widows and struggling mothers, in honor of the woman who raised him and the maid who reminded him of his humanity. He became known not just as a millionaire, but as a man with a heart. So remember this: wealth without love is emptiness, pride without humility is weakness. Honor your parents, respect those who serve, and never forget where you came from. Because one day, when money fails, it is love that will save you. If this story touched you, don't just keep it to yourself. Share it, like this video, and subscribe to the channel, because somewhere out there, someone needs to hear that forgiveness and love are more powerful than gold. And who knows, the next story could change your life too.